Speak life. Top of the morning to you. When our daughter Liz was born, she was born with a cleft lip and a cleft palate. And it was a surprise to us when she was born, because we didn't see it on any of the ultrasounds or anything. The nurses were all in a fizzle. It was interesting. They're like, oh no, your daughter has this and you didn't know. And if we would have known, we could have. Yeah, what could you have done? Could have aborted her? It's a physical little thing. She was conceived at birth. And that's the Christian philosophy, the Christian thinking. Before she was 1 year old, she had her first surgery where they repaired the lip and up here in the roof of her mouth, and stitched that together. Part of that procedure, or the recovery from that, she couldn't suck. Actually, before that, she couldn't suck, and after that, she couldn't suck for a while. And because sucking, you got to have a closed space and a closed container to suck through. And when they stitched that up, they didn't want her sucking. We had a special little bottle that had like a little tube at the top of it that we squeezed to squirt the milk. And my wife pumped and we squirted milk in her mouth. And I spent a lot of time with Liz in that season of life. Also, she had these arm guards on. So her arms were like straight arms that blocked her elbows from bending. And she couldn't suck her thumb. She couldn't bend her elbow to touch her mouth, to dig at the stitches on her lip, to dig at the stitches inside of her mouth. And so I sat with her in my arms and held that little bottle and just squeezed the right amount and dripped. It was like you see feeding a bird or something, only it was our treasured daughter. And a lot of times when I was feeding her and sitting with her and rocking her, it was uncomfortable. She couldn't even crawl. I guess she couldn't even crawl well because her elbows were locked, and they were uncomfortable. And we saved them for a while. I don't know if we still have the arm guards, but I would sing to her over and over and over and over, Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. And I would switch it up. Jesus loves you. This I know, for the Bible tells you so. And I would repeat it, and I would repeat it, and I would repeat it. I don't know whether I was just not creative or I was just reminding myself how blessed we were to have a daughter, despite the challenges, the costs, the journey that we were on. But the intention was to speak life. Every once in a while now, I will sing that to her at 12 years old. And it just reminds me of that time that we spent together. So that's the story for today. And it's really, I open with Speak Life. There's a song on the radio, Christian radio these days. Speak life into the deepest, darkest places. And singing that song was speaking life into Elizabeth and her recovery. Yesterday I talked about words and phrases that we get caught on or that just stick with us for a season, and how we can be intentional about those words of life. One of the intentional things I tell my kids right now as they're moving and getting ready for teenagership is we're on the same team. We're on the same team. Whatever challenges they have when we have to say no to an activity or an event, or when things don't go their way and nobody else can have a play date or have an event, I repeat, hey, we're on the same team. Especially when I say yes, then I reinforce it. We're on the same team. Yes, we can go there. Yes, you can do that. Yes, we'll pay for that event. Yes, we're on the same team. Yes, we're trying to do our best with what we know. I've also been using it with the 18, 21, and 25-year-old in this season. It's not a automatic thing. It's kind of getting automatic, but it's definitely been set up by my intentions. I intend to say that and teach that. Yesterday, I challenged you to come up with something that would speak life, that would speak positivity, that would speak growth and prosperity into your life, into someone else's life. And I'm going to continue that challenge today. It was easy to sing that with Elizabeth when I was feeding her as a baby and help her through that recovery season. And it's easy today to say we're on the same team. And it's reinforced by our actions, by what we're doing. I'm not sure what my next mantra phrase of positivity, of kingdom building will be. But I've got my 3 core beliefs. You've heard them a few times. I believe I'm getting better every day. I believe we're better together. And I believe in a God who knows better, way better than I do. And so that kind of mantra and repetition can go a long way in our prosperity, our growth, our mindset, and our faith. So find those words, use those words, share those words with everyone, and you be blessed. That's a set of those words. I finish every day with you be blessed. And I start every day with top of the morning to you. Top of the morning. I even say that in meetings in the afternoon and the evening. Top of the morning to you. And in the afternoon, people get smiles and chuckles about it, like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm believing everything's more than half full, and I've got plenty of time to get everything done. I have that morning mindset all the time. And don't get me wrong, I'm not an early riser, and I don't love the mornings, but I love serving. I love volunteering. I love family. I love my work. I love sharing. I love recording these videos. So I digress, divert, get distracted. Again, you be blessed.